Politics and sport were about to take an unforgettable journey. It began in Prague, a hotbed of hockey. A simple announcement started it all.
Our arrangement with the National Hockey League through Hockey Canada and with the National Hockey League Players Association through Mr. Eagleson is that they will make the best possible Canadian players available in order to play the best possible Russian players.
Crowd assembled. Our rakish Prime Minister, a recent hockey convert, presided over the ceremonial face-off, which underscored our belief we were invincible.
I was going to win the face-off. To me, it was, you win this, it lets them know, hey, we're not fooling around here. I remember turning back and Gary Bergman's face. He had this pumpkin head, and there was his face smiling, and you won that draw, Phil. I said, yeah, I know.
International hockey traditions honored, gifts exchanged, the two-man referee system, and the third period end change.
And so, the stage was set. 4 games in Canada, 4 in the Soviet Union. The series started on a hot summer night at the Forum in Montreal. Relive the greatest series in hockey history as we hear again the voice of the late Foster Hewitt.
And the game is underway with Petrov having cleared it into the Canadian zone. Over the line.
I was so hyped. It was incredible. I hadn't been that nervous. I can't remember when.
There's Bernoya. There's the pass of Lino. Base stop. Here's a shot right in front. Let it go!
I saw anybody on that team to tell me that on that bench that we weren't going to walk over these guys like crazy.
Back to Henderson.
The big bad Russians, and they were. This was, I mean, Canada. This is the one thing that we are the best at.
It's center right in front. They score from that left side. They finally found the corner of the net, and of course it was Zeman that was the marksman who stood right off the side of the net.
There's a look at Bobby Orr, and I bet he wishes he was in this game.
I'll bet he can hardly contain himself.
When they get that puck, they can both do things with it.
Mihailov nearly got loose, gets it over to Petrov, back to Mihailov, right in the clear, oh, right in, they score!
Because hockey is so greatly loved by Russians, we felt duty-bound to be competitive against the professionals and to justify their faith in us. That night in Montreal was so beautiful for us. It showed everyone that we were able to compete with the Canadians.
Cutting in around Ori, a shot, he scores! Karlamov went right around the Canadian defense, Ori, and picked the corner to give the Soviet a 3-2 lead. Karlamov, a very tricky player, he scores!
Karlamov was an outstanding hockey player, probably the best I ever saw. I was proud to be his teammate. He had such talent.
Henderson for Canada, centers out to Ellis, and tries to score! Clark deflected that one into the net. Blinov comes right back for the Soviet. Passes to Mihailov, coming in on goal. Oh, he scores!
Well, I remember I was sitting with my wife in Rochester and I was watching the game. She started to kid me, and you know, I said, Rose, don't kid. I'm not kidding. Because it was like death. Like I'm watching, this was I mean, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
And give the Soviet a 5-3 lead. Shadman's stick, Yakushev got up over the line. Here they're closing in. Zeman gets right in, he scores! Zeman went rushing right in to score for the Soviet. Number 11 gets it back to Yakushev, who's knocked down. Puck is on the board.
It was very superficially, without much thought. And it was a big mistake on the part of the Canadians. We could see from their gestures, by the way they acted and the remarks they made during our practice, that they didn't consider us to be worthy opponents. We could hear their laughter. We could all feel it, that arrogance.
And Mihailov.
There's an example there of total frustration by Team Canada.
I remember lots going in, and I just remember the feelings of them. I felt like a fish on land. I mean, I just fell out of it. And it was It was an awful experience. I mean, it was really awful.
We got beat by one fine hockey team.
Toronto anticipated a more festive mood, but everything was deadly serious now. But everyone was obsessed with what had happened.
The worst thing is to overestimate yourself and underestimate your opposition.
They completely underestimated us at the beginning. For them, the series was a novelty, not a serious competition. They were so certain that they would crush us easily, especially in Montreal. For us, it was perfect. We were ready.
Canadian national team founder, Father David Bauer, sensed anxiety. Their coaches, Kulagin and Bobrov, struggled with Moscow's new expectations. Out on Carleton Street, fans felt the tension. As they filed into the gardens, it grew. Soon, a sea of faces reflected the shock of our nation, reflected the disbelief of Montreal.
The public was totally devastated. They were still in a state of shock, but deep down inside, most of those people, they were scared to death. And so was I.
Harry overhauled the lineup. Dryden, unhappy Hadfield, others out. Parise, Tony Esposito, and others in. The team was ready, and so was the Gardens crowd.